Today we're going to talk about confession time. So today is Monday, March 20th. It's early in the morning. I've already had my coffee and my food, but I decided I wanted to go ahead and kick off a different series, and that is about taking care of my body so that I can take care of my family. Why should you care that I'm looking to lose weight? If you can just gain a few nuggets of information and input from my journey, then hopefully it'll help yours. Here we go. Now, if you can see behind me on the board, I weighed myself, but it was after I ate and had the coffee. I was about 169. So I'm going to guess that I'm actually probably 2 pounds less than that. So 167, I'm looking to get down to 160 in 30 days. So losing 7 pounds in 30 days, is that doable? Yes, it is. So use the site in the past. It's called iifym.com. Stands for if it's in your macros.com. We'll get into that a little bit later on. But basically what I did is I calculated in everything that we see here. So I'm a man. I'm 49. My height is 5 feet 9 inches. And my current weight is 169 with a goal weight of 160. I'm going to use the total body weight formula, which is their low or their free version. If you do the lean mass formula, which takes into account body fat, it's going to cost you a little bit more. My daily activities, because I basically have a desk job, I'm going to go ahead and click sedentary, as much as I hate to do that. I figured my exercise output this way. I do 3 days of CrossFit at approximately 60 minutes of exercise. I'm going to do around 10 minutes of rowing every day, 7 days a week. That's another part of my 30-day plan. So I calculated 60 times 30, which is 180, plus 7 times 10, or 7 times 10, which is 70. 70 plus 180 is 250. 250 divided by 7, roughly 35. 7 times 35 is 245. So that's where I came up with 7 days of exercise with 35 minutes per day of exercising. Put moderate. I'm going to undercut myself a little bit, which basically means that this formula is going to provide me eating less calories. Now, if I feel like I need to change that later on, then I'll do so. Okay, so we see down here the basal metabolic rate. That means that 1,448 calories is what I have to have each day just to live. But because of the exercise, because of some other things, my total daily energy expenditure, TDEE, is 1,928 calories. So let's play with these numbers inside of a spreadsheet. Okay, so I've put in my my total daily energy expenditure, and if you go ahead and if you're in the inside the IIFYM website, and then it's going to prompt you to enter in your email address. You can choose to do that if you want to get their newsletter. Otherwise, all the information you're going to need is right here. And I'll tell you what, you're going to get an email that looks something like this, and it's going to tell you that if you're looking to burn fat, you need to eat 15 to 20% fewer calories. And if you want to gain muscle, you need to eat about 5 to 10% more calories. Well, we all want to do both. But for the purposes of really leaning down for the summertime and get away from this dad bod, I'm going to choose to eat 15 to 20% fewer calories, which is going to put me into a calorie deficit, which is how I'm going to lose weight. Let's figure out what 15% fewer calories is going to be, and then we'll figure out what 20% fewer calories are going to be, and then also 17.5% fewer calories, so that we can kind of see our range. So here are my final numbers. I need to eat somewhere between 1,638 calories and 1,542. So I'm going to go right in the middle. I'm going to choose that 1,591 calories. Macros. Of course, we have carbohydrates, we have fats, and we have protein. And in this particular phase where I'm really looking to burn fat, I try to go after a low carb approach. If I'm going to really burn fat, and I'm going to take in fewer calories, if I don't have a high amount of protein going into my system, I'm likely going to lose muscle mass. So that's where a paleo, primal, low carb approach is probably the most suggested in this case. If I were going to gain muscle, I would want to increase my carbohydrates, but trying to burn the fat, I'm really going to up the protein, decrease the carbs, and probably increase the fats. Also, the fats are where we're going to derive our energy. Okay, so carbohydrates, I'm going to go with 20% on my carbohydrates, 40% on my fats. And before anybody freaks out about that, we'll talk about in the upcoming episodes. But trust me, fats are not as bad as what we think. Okay, so if I take my 1591. So I'm going to take 1591, if I can type, times 0.2, and then let's just make sure that our totals are the same. Bam. Okay, there we go, 1591. So we know that there are 4 calories for every carbohydrate, for every gram of carbohydrates. So we're going to take 318.2, divide that by 4. So that means I can have basically 80 grams of carbohydrates per day. Fats, we know that there are 9 calories per gram of fat. So that means I'm going to be able to have basically 71 grams of fat. And on my protein, I'm going to be able to do 636, and we're going to divide that by 4, so that should be twice as high as the amount that we already received on carbohydrates, which it does. So that's basically, well, let's just stick with 159. Okay, so those are my goals each day. 80 grams of carbohydrates, 71 grams of fat, and 159 grams of protein spread throughout the day. I'm going to suggest, as I track my calories, and I'll be sharing this with you as well, to find an app, something like MyFitnessPal is something that I would heavily recommend. And I'll show you how to use that either later in this video or even maybe tomorrow, so that we keep these videos kind of short. As you can see, this is all extremely easy to use. If you would like, I can actually recreate this spreadsheet and put this either in the description down below, either today or in the coming days. So please let me know in the comment section if you would like that. And then I'm going to go ahead and put in some other goals that I want to put in here, more self-improvement. So I want to do, for myself, I want to do CrossFit 3 times per week. I want to row 1,000 calories each day. I want to stick to my calorie intake. And then maybe just on the personal improvement, I want to read 1 chapter of a book, we'll say 1 chapter plus per day. That is my 30-day improvement plan. And I guess another plan here is to check in with the vlog family 3 times per week. I hope you'll join me on this journey. I hope you'll learn from this. I hope you'll share your experiences. If you have a different plan that you've chosen or that you're currently on, please put that in the description below. And let's see where this takes us. More to come. We'll see you in the next episode. And remember, choose to be happy.